All right, guys, this is Monday's math video. We're going to be doing three things with the math video notes. We're going to be doing easy division without remainders, long division, grid D, and long division, grid H. Okay, so none of this has remainders, so we don't have to worry about that. But also there's something that we do need to work on while we're doing this, is there are no lines to keep us like lined up. So we are actually going to have to work on keeping everything lined up like we should. I apologize for that. Like we should. That means we have to make sure we line our stuff up. We put the numbers where they need to go. When we subtract, we're subtracting properly. Okay, so let's get started. Number one is 186 divided by 2. Now, these are very simple one digit or 3-digit by 1-digit division. So remember, the first thing we do is we divide, then we multiply, subtract, bring down, and sometimes we have Rover, but we're not going to have Rover today. Okay, so first question I say or ask is I say, will 2 go into the first number in my box? So will 2 go into 1? No, it will not. So I put a 0 right there. And now I'll move over and say, will 2 go into 18? Which it will. 2 will go into 18 how many times without going over? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 9 times. So now I go 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, I divided, I've multiplied, now I subtract, and I get 0. Okay, now after I subtract, I bring down, and I have a 6. Can 2 go into 6? Yes, it can. How many times without going over? 2, 4, 6. 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. And that leaves me with an answer of 93. So I'm just going to circle my answer right up here. Guys, it is very important that you show me your work. Some people can do the work in their head, but since you're at home, I physically need to see your work. Especially on a piece of paper like this where you can work it out on the paper. I need to see your work. All right, next one is 3. How many times will 3 go into 63? So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. How many times will 3 go into 6? 3, 6, 2 times. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. Now I subtract. I get 0. Now I bring down. And I get 3. How many times will 3 go into 3? 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. And that leaves me with 21. All right, next problem. 231 divided by 2. I'm sorry, 231 divided by 3. Sorry. Okay, so how many times will 3 go into 2? It won't. 3 will not go into 2. No matter how many times you tried it, no matter how many times you wiggle it or do whatever, it won't go in. But 3 can go into 23. How many times without going over? Well, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, 15, 18, 21, 24. 24 is too big, so 21. So that means 3 times 7 is 21. Now I subtract. 21 from 23 gives me 2. And then I bring down the 1. And we already know how many times 3 will go into 21 because we already used it. So the answer is 77. Okay, next one. How many times will 4 go into 48? So ask yourself, will 4 go into 4? Yes, it will. 1 time. All right. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract, and you get 0. Then you bring down the 8. Okay. How many times will 4 go into 8? 4, 2 times. 4 times 8 is 8. Okay. How many? We have 122 divided by 2. Will 2 go into 1? No, it will not. But 2 will go into 12. How many times? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Drop down my 2. How many times will 2 go into 2? 1 time. All right. 216 divided by 4. Will 4 go into 2? Nope, will not. Nope, will not fit. But 4 will fit into 21. How many times without going over? That's the most important part. You cannot go over. Well, you have 4, 8, 16, 20, 24. 24 is too big, so I'm left with 20. So that means 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract. I get 1. Drop the 6, and I get 16. How many times will 4 go into 16? 4, 8, 12, 6. 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, I want y'all to do the last 3. Y'all can do these because they're divided by 2. And 2s, you know your 2s. So you can either pause your video right now or just continue on with me. It's whichever you want to do. But you are responsible for these 3. Okay? These 3. I need you to do them. Try your best. Remember, 2 will not go into that 1, so you are going to need to put a 0 here and then move on to the 19. All right, next one is we're going to be doing long division with grid D. Long division with grid D. So as we look at this, we see that we have some bigger numbers. We have 4-digit divided by 1-digit, but we can do it because we're going to work through this. All right, now I have 7,441 divided by 7. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, remember, we divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and if needed, we have Rover here. Now, we're going to look at our divisor, and then we're going to look at the first number in our dividend. Will 7 go into 7? Yes, it will. How many times will 7 go into 7? 1 time. So 1 times 7 is 7. So I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. And I'm going to bring down my 4. Now, this is where some people have an issue. You have made it to the end. You have brought it down. Now you start up all over again with dividing. Will 7 go into 4? No, it will not. So what do we normally do if the number won't go into the first number like that? You put a 0. And that's the same thing you do here. You put a 0 here. And then you get to skip to the last thing and drop another number down. So now instead of saying 7 into 4, we're going 7 into 44. So how many times will 7 go into 44 without going over? We'll count by 7. We have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. 49 is too big, so 42. What times 7 equals 42? I hope you said 6 because that's the right answer. Now I'm going to multiply. 6 times 7 is 42. Subtract. You get 2. Then we bring down. And we get 1. Okay. So how many times will 7 go into 21? We'll just count by sevens. 7, 14, 21. 3 times. And then we multiply, subtract, and our answer is 1,063. Please, once again, put your answers down here, guys. All right. We're rolling here. Okay, let's look at the next one. It is a 5, and we all know our 5s, hopefully. So it is 2,780 divided by 5. We're going to start at the beginning like we do everything. We're going to divide. Will 5 go into 2? No, it will not. We cannot fit 5 into 2. Unless we want a percentage or something like that, but we're not there yet. So now I'm going to go to 27. How many times will 5 go into 27 without going over? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, 30 is too much, so we're left with 25. 5 times 5 is 25. So we're going to subtract. 25 from 27 is 2. And we're going to drop down the 8. So how many times will 5 go into 28? Well, we know 25 and then 30. 30 is too big, so we're stuck with 25 again. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 from 28 is 3. Drop the 0. How many times will 5 go into 30? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 6 times. So your answer is 556. Okay. I want y'all, in the next minute, after we get done with this page, you're going to be doing this one, okay? You can either pause right now and work on it, or just work on it after we get finished with the notes. Okay, let's go to this one. 7,608 divided by 6. Just like we always do, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Will 6 go into 7? Yes, it will. It will go one time without going over because it's 6, 12. 12's too big, so 6 fits right in. So we subtract. 6 from 7 is 1. Bring down 6. How many times will 6 go into 16 without going over? Well, guys, just count by 6. 6, 12, 18. Okay, 18 is too big, so 12. So that's 2. Okay, so 2 times 6 is 12. We're subtracting. 16 minus 12 is 4. Now we bring down our 0. How many times will 6 go into 40 without going over? All right, so I know that 6 times 5 is 30. So that means 6 times 6 is 36, and 6 times 7 is 42. So 42 is too big, so that leaves me with 6. I'm sorry, I just went blank. Okay, and 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract, bring down. Now, how many times will 6 go into 48? Well, I know 6 times 6 is 36, and 6 times 7 is 42. So 6 times 8 is, ding, 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 48. All right, y'all are going to do this one. Okay, it's 5s. Y'all know your 5s. All right, now we're going to do this one together, and you will have problems that are like this, and you're either going to love them or hate them. I like them because they're easy. So we're going to divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Will 7 go into 1? No, it will not. But 7 will go into 14. How many times without going over? 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. Now I'm going to subtract. Bring down. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring down because these are all zeros. And we know that 7 cannot go into 0. So that's why I'm saying that you're either going to love these or you're going to hate them. Okay, so you're going to be responsible for dividing 2 of these problems. This one and this one. All right? I know I have faith in y'all. You can do it. Right, the next one and the last one for the video notes for the day is long division still. And here's the thing we're going to do. I'm thinking. I'm going to answer. Y'all are going to work these by yourself after you watch me do the 3s. All right? So you're going to be responsible for 3 of these. All right, so I have 7,167 divided by 3. Will 3 go into 7? Yes, it will. How many times? 3, 6, 9. Okay, 9's too big, so we're left with 6. I about wrote a 6 up there. All right, now how many times? What is 2 times 3? Well, the answer is 6. So we're going to multiply right here. 7 minus 6 is 1. And I'm going to, oops, oh, wait, I forgot. See, if somebody was in here, they would have told me, Miss Moore, you forgot to do that. Okay, so I subtracted, now I bring down, and I'm left with 11. How many times will 3 go into 11 without going over? 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, 12's too big, so 9. So 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. 9 from 11 is 2. Bring down. Oh, sorry, my nose is itching. Okay, so how many times will 3 go into 26 without going over? Well, we know 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, so 27 is too big. So that means 3 times 8, which is 24. Subtract. 24 from 26 is 2. Bring down the 7. Oh, and I already said that. What times 3 is 27? That's right, it's 9. Good job. Okay, remember that's for you. This is for me. Okay, I have 4,557 divided by 3. Will 3 go into 4? Yes, it will. 1 time without going over. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I subtract. 3 from 4 is 1. Bring down. And I get 15. Now, does 3 go into 15? Or how many times will 3 go into 15 without going over? Well, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that's 5 times if you kept up with your fingers. 5 times 3 is 15. We subtract. 15 minus 15 is 0. So bring down the 5. So how many times will 3 go into 5 without going over? That's right, 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract, I get a 2. Carry down. Now we already know this from this problem. 9. Okay, right here. Last one for this. I have 6,480 divided by 3. Start right here, like we always do. Will 3 go into 6? Yes, it will. How many times without going over? 3, 6. 2 times. 6 minus 6 is 0. Drop the 4. Okay. Does 3 go into 4? Yes, it does. How many times without going over? 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. You take 3 from 4 and you get 1. Bring down the 8. You get 18. How many times does 3 go into 18 without going over? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 6 times. And 18 minus 18 is 0. Bring down the 0. And how many times will 3 go into 0? 0 times. Okay, please remember to divide. Make sure you're following the steps and write your answer down here. Okay, guys, that was, I know it was a lot, but guys, we need to make sure that we can at least do simple division like this before we take the big step into the harder division problems. All right, so that was Monday's math video practice, and we will be right back with some more skills.